Guys, I am so frustrated because I got on to play with my pro team, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm finally got a level 4 class, level 4 duelist, and I'm gonna get some more level 4 classes. I'm working on level 4 sorcerer, and everyone's quit. I don't feel like this season is that bad. I mean, obviously I'm not really doing it, and so I guess it is pretty bad. But people are so upset about how hard it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't like that you have to get on every day, do all the tasks. But, I mean, surely you guys are at least doing the archer wing, right? I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it should have this. I understand it not being the best season, right? But, well, I don't know. This is where I realize I can't get on every day. I can't play the game every day. So maybe you guys are more like me than I thought y'all were. But if you could get on every day, but not for that long, I mean, everyone should be doing this one right here. This is an easy task. Takes, you could do it in less than 15 minutes. And if you do it, you get all these rune bags and all the chaser set and all of the, the not that great legendary bow. I mean, that's pretty sweet, right? I mean, you get the fire bow and the 5-shot. I mean, that's, my son was really excited about doing it, but I'm not letting him play either every day either. So yeah, so I'm not letting him play every day. I can't play every day. So I guess maybe you guys are in the same boat as me. But if you can play every day and all you do is just that archer thing, I mean, this is a sweet setup. 15 minutes a day for a fire bow, chaser set, and a bunch of rune bags. I mean, that's a sweet gig. But I guess if you can't get on every day, then you're screwed, right? You can't get all of the stuff, and so, yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna look for some PvP in the solo zone, which I suck at solo PvP, so probably gonna watch me get trashed. Actually, if I'm gonna do this, I might as well go to the zone where I can actually get points for the season. Yeah. So I mean, I want to know your guys' thoughts. I mean, obviously, season 4 was unbelievable. With it was season 4, right? Yeah, it was season 4. They just gave free-to-play players a free class and all this amazing stuff, just for easy grinding, resource grinding. That was such an easy season, completed on like all my accounts. But it wasn't nearly as fun as season 5. And I mean, I realized season 5 was in some ways torture, because as amazing as it was also embarrassing how the matchmaking, because it could have been so much better. Basically, if what was hard about season 5 is that we all knew, man, if they would just work a little bit on their seasons. Oh, it's a bot. Come on. Why am I in a bot zone? That's dumb. I guess it's because I haven't really been on a whole lot. And so they're not really gonna put me with real players. I like that they do that, but it's really annoying for trying to make content. I think it's clever for you guys, because if you're not playing for a while, you get matched with bots instead of immediately getting hit by a lot of players. But okay, looks like we're in a new zone, so we could be with some real players. Ooh, there's a lag spike. Oh, it's a bot. Good thing it was a bot, because honestly, I think I would have gotten beaten. I was not ready. Let's go over here. More leather strips. I don't even know why I'm collecting. I'm really sad because I finally got a level 4 class, and I thought, that we were going to do all this PvP, and then everyone's quitting. I bet they'll be back. Maybe season 7 will have like a really awesome something, like something cool. I don't know. I could see season 7 having something really cool. I mean, I don't know if they'll bring back the same event, or if they'll bring back a new multiplayer event. But if they bring any multiplayer event, then I think it's gonna be amazing. I think people are gonna love it. I'm gonna reset this zone. I'm gonna try one more time to run into some real players, And then I might drop in on my old team because I think they're playing other games. But, maybe we'll ask them why they quit. I feel like, okay, so season 1 was good, but then they ruined it, right? It made it too grindy. Season 2 was well, everyone that was able to use it with the Druids glitch loved season 2. It was still good. It was just it was also very grindy. And then season 3 was like season 2, but not as bad. I am actually blanking. Season 3 was good. I remember season 3 being good, but I'm actually blanking a little bit on what it was, on how to get the points. But it was a good one. I like season 2 though. I like the PvE challenge. And then season 4 was the most ridiculous. I loved it, but I could see why the devs might be like, we were maybe a little too generous. It was just too easy. I'm sad though that it feels like season 4 soured them from the idea of being able to make up lost time. That was a bummer. Season 5 and there's a bot. Or is it a bot or is it a real player? This could be a real player. Nope. Definitely a bot. And I didn't even get the kill. That's dumb. Alright, I'm gonna mount up, see if I can find the other bots before they die to mobs. There's a bot. Don't. Trevor. I don't actually remember bots running like this. Wait. Oh my gosh. Trevor is, killed him with the hammer. That's pretty funny. Well, I at least got some points. There's a bot. There we go. I'll take your blue pants and your 2 bandages, Mr. Urban. Man, I'm so bummed. Okay, I'm gonna go talk to those guys and see why they quit. Well, what is so bad about this server? Or this season? Hey guys.
What's up?
You see this?
Hey, so I'm recording a video, and I'm basically lamenting that I'm sad that, I feel like a lot of good Frostborn players are quitting right now, and so I wanted to ask you guys what are y'all's thoughts on, is it the season that's causing y'all to quit or just the lack of movement? What's
Honestly, I have multiple opinions on this. I think it's a combination of things. One of the main things we were talking about we were just talking about this last night. There's a lot of things to do in the game, yes, but it's all very, very repetitive. Like how many thousands of times we've all done Odin's? We need another big PvE thing. The Sanctum of Thor, the one next to the Ice Abode, something it's just
this last update is just adding on to the repetitiveness of Frostborn. It's like, okay, yeah, just turn in these orbs to the dude, but then you gotta grind for hours
for the orbs, yeah,
to get the orbs.
The other thing too I find that's not mentioned is you go back and you look at last season, and there was a lot of work put into it. It was new. You had a lot of people come back to play in that particular aspect, and then it went downhill when they changed it. A lot of people were upset with those changes, and then they were looking forward to this new season that came out.
And by changes,
what they did,
you're meaning the matchmaking or something else?
Yeah, the
matchmaking, the doubling of the points,
day one,
all of those things that happened during the season that progressively made it worse throughout that time frame. And then people were looking forward to this season, only to find out that they didn't put any effort in the new set. They just recolored an old set.
Yeah, that was surprising for sure.
Right? So, and then they changed it after it specifically said for every class, and then now it specializes in medium armor. And they even nursed the total amount of armor you got from it from
And
115
you
to
can already
113.
see what they're gonna do now. They're gonna make a mage set that's recolored, and then they're gonna add some stats on it, and then make a legendary set, and then they're gonna make a plate set that's recolored, and that's gonna be 2 more seasons of just recoloring a set and adding stats on it.
Mhm.
Like, they're so
But
predictable.
that's what I'm trying
that,
to allude to,
you
Crip,
know, it's
is when they do these things, so people lost a little bit of hope on the last season.
Yeah.
And what little hope they had moving forward kind of took a shot when they seen the lack of effort put into this one, where it's only, hey, go get some orbs in a zone for no particular reason, you know, bring them back, and you get these weapons that aren't even very good, and you have to grind a lot. Like, the amount of sets people are losing, the amount of durability and weapons they're losing, it seems like they looked at the population and the amount of inventory they had and said it was too much, and we need to make them use a lot of it to bring them back down, so they need this kind of stuff. Or something to
There's
that
multiple
effect, right?
people. Kid Friendly, for example, he's not doing this season. He's just, I'm just gonna skip this whole season. I don't like this.
Well, I tried to do it, and I ended up. I mean, just I had a few busy days at work, and then it was I started
then that's
falling
what
behind.
it is, man. It's so grindy that you don't get a break. You know, like, if you look at any other game and any other battle pass, you have actual time to complete it, and it's not so much of a grind. You know, you could play an hour a day, or you could stop playing for 5 days, and then you can come back and grind for a good day, and then you're basically caught up. You know, they limit the amount you can do per day, and then make it so you have to grind every single day for hours. You know, like, you know, if I wanted to take a couple day break, let me grind as much as I can the first couple days. You know,
even on past seasons, you were able to skip a good 3-4 days. This one, I think the side one, somebody said if you miss 1 day, like, that's you have to do every single other day.
Trying to balance it a little bit too, where, you know, they have people that'll go and finish it really fast, pay to win or whatever, and they get all those chests at the end when they start doing the quests, and then they're getting stacked on all this extra inventory. So you kind of want it to be hard to kind of get through a little bit or get those chests at the end. But if you cap it, maybe, right? Say you get a maximum of 10 chests at the end or something to that effect, and you elongate the amount of time you have, it's win-win, but it gets monotonous again, like Crip said, where we're in this repetition, same old zones. People don't want to go to zones anymore because it's too grindy. You grind for these orbs, somebody shows up and fears you away, you get
on top
raided.
of this now, right now, the economy of Frostborn is, if you go into a zone, you're at a very high chance where you're going to get not only run into a team, but you're going to run into an entire clan.
So is clan warfare becoming more and more common in the zones now?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, and
they've come out and said that they don't want those 8v8s that we want either. They straight said, we're doing this to jump that solo 4-man family. Like, that's what they want.
They know fair fights they're gonna lose. They've flat out said that already. They've said that there's no chance that we're gonna win fair fights. Like, we have, you know, but it's whatever, you know. But what I think is Kefir, they implement these changes, like they added clans, but they didn't think about where the player base was going to take clans. You know, I think they implemented clans to do the clan tasks, to be able to team up and do clan tasks, but they didn't think about what happens when people start teaming up and running zones and just destroying 4-man teams. Like, you know, you have to have a clan backing you up almost 24/7, but then that ruins the game for other 4-man families that don't participate.
Now, I will say, and of course we can have grace for some of these misunderstandings, right? But the fact that they don't fix it, like, and the fact that they do fix, if they think something's easy, which honestly, I've been a gamer for a long time, and my definition of easy is different than their definition of easy, but they'll double the points, they'll triple the points, they'll make it way harder. Whereas, and in my opinion, when I say easy, I mean just like what other games do, maybe even still harder than what other games do. And
but this is all PvE as well.
It was like that season when they, you know, that last season, Portals, it was like, oh, you guys are having so much fun doing this. This is easy. Okay, well, we got to make this harder and make you guys feel miserable. doing it.
See, I think
You
they did.
know,
At first, the matchmaking was good for a 4-man family. It was horrible for a solo, and then they changed it to where it was better for a solo but horrible for a 4-man family. Why didn't you just do what you did with every other zone and separate it? It would have made it so much better. Solos can go in, fight another solo, possibly get third partied, but that's in every zone. You know what I mean? But you're not going to get jumped by a 4-man family. I think that's unreasonable. If a solo goes to Red Rock family zone and gets jumped, it's kind of like, okay, that's on you. That's your fault. You went into a family zone. But to be forced into that, I don't think that's reasonable.
So
I think they were having too much fun on their New Year's and didn't have time to change anything. They just let it ride out.
Well, I guess the long story that I was trying to put down is a lot of the hope has been lost moving forward with the current state of the game, the lack of PvE, and even when you do PvP, it's like Crip said, it's clan wars, or it's getting stun locked by someone. You have thrashers now that do the stun lock, but on top of that, you have sharpshooters doing it now. You have illusionists doing it now, and with the Oculus being so powerful, it's hard to run solo zones and be profitable, if you will.
Raiding kind of got
the occultist
or occultist, yeah, occultist.
I was like,
raiding kind of got
he does that all the time.
The Oculus,
and assassins are still broken because the people that run assassins just rune it out so that they can still 2-tap with a fire dagger.
Kid Friendly he went to a zone.
The assassin.
No. I mean a fire dagger.
So do they 1-tap with an assassin dagger?
You can still 2-tap people, but I mean the fire dagger is still really good with a runed out assassin.
Yeah, we have one guy in our server.
Better than
I won't mention his name, but he's very ruined out.
It's better than the assassin dagger because you get that sneak attack buff. So when you use your assassin strike, you get that extra.
But I thought they nerfed it so bad we were all complaining about it.
I mean, it still doesn't feel. I mean, I don't know. You can still get 2 to 3 tapped by an assassin.
Got it.
There's something weird going on with the fire dagger because I've noticed that they said they nerfed it, but it still does an odd amount of damage. You know what I mean?
Just like they said they fixed Alchemist and they nerfed Druid. None of those actually happened. Alchemist still has his animation for the long throw. Druid still has his buff for. And I didn't think the Druid needed a nerf anyways. So I mean, it's good that it's not nerfed.
No.
But
do you think they're just taking things back and that we complained about the fire dagger, they basically put it back but then didn't tell us?
I
think they were trying to
honestly
with the fire dagger, I think they were just trying to eliminate assassins killing everybody so quickly, and maybe they don't play as much, and they had thought the ×5 was like, okay, well we can scale this back and it'll appease the population a little bit.
Honestly, I think that more than anything hurt the free-to-play population that does Odins with fire daggers.
Yeah, the fire dagger was
mainly hurt them.
That was my free-to-play way to do it.
I feel like if Loki runes were more accessible.
But in all honesty, at this point in the game, they either need to do a little bit of investment in PvE and make the Sanctum of Odins have a hard mode, maybe. Right, where that banging door opens up and there's a really hard monster in there to give us a challenge for a few months, or finally open up the halls of Kirga, right? Because they had put it up there, going to be released in the next update, and it's been a lot of updates since then.
No, that was never. That never.
Oh no, it was the bottom one. It said going to be released soon, is what it said.
No, the bottom one said next update, and it was released the next update. It was just kind of not. It was exciting.
You're right, but when you looked at Kirga's, it said. An update coming soon or something similar to that.
Let's see. Did they change it? Let's see. Right now it says when the time comes. I don't know. I don't know if they changed it. But I get what you're saying. I mean, that's the nature of Kefir is to have things in their games that to look forward to.
How long was it before they released Bunker Bravo?
It was a very long time.
Right.
It was years. 3 years? Something like that.
So I mean, that might be the timeline we're looking at.
But when they add stuff, they usually add something else that they're ready to tease. They never want to have everything actually in the game.
Yeah, the fact that they're spending all their time putting in temporary things that are just soaking up our money is just ridiculous. You know, they've brought out all these Thor armors and Thor weapons, and you know that realistically you think, okay, well you can get that stuff in the Sanctum of Thor, so why aren't they pushing that out yet? Now they're pushing all kinds of Emperor stuff. Where are you going to get that Emperor stuff?
Well,
Do you
I
have to
think
go-
that's
Well,
just for the holiday.
Think about it like this too. Like if you're a new player coming into this game
Uh-huh.
and you get to like level 50 or 60, 70, you're a level 2 class. You can't even get a level 3 class. But if you hit that raid button, you're fighting Occultist 3, Duelist 3, Witch Doctor 3, and Alchemist 3, right? Because people who have done the seasons. So they're already at a big disadvantage. So that's, I think,
But
hurting the new
couldn't have they
population
done
from
that?
coming up as well.
Could they have done the season? Oh,
No,
this
like say if
season's
you join
harder.
right
Got
now.
it. Yeah.
Like say if you join right now and you barely get this season done and you hit level 50 or 60, you can't hit raid. Because what if you go against a Duelist 3? You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Where they've completed the season, which isn't even achievable now for that level 56 because you need to be level 99 to get the class.
Rating's broken anyway. Only the rich people rate.
Well, but I think
But
that's
I was-
their intention, and that doesn't really. I mean, it stinks, but it basically rating is a paid part of the game. If you want to
And,
rate
and
someone
I don't
else,
mind that aspect. I don't mind that aspect at all because they need to make their money somewhere and lockpicks, fine. Let's do it that way. You can grind it out free to play if you do Odin's a bunch. But I mean, most people will be like 50 coins ain't that much. 250 coins, get 5 packs, let's raid some.
Yeah. Which I still think that if they just made it to where if you could guard those lockpicks, those personal lockpicks in your base, and once the raid timer ends, you should get those lockpicks because
On the
They
dead
ha-
body, yeah.
they have a chance to get them back. A lot of people are going to defend that body anyways and not let them come get that lockpick back anyways. So you might as well just make it a fun game out of it. And so that would make it exciting for the free-to-play player to be like, oh, I could get these lockpicks that normally I'd have to pay for, but all I have to do is defend this body, and it would make a pretty freaking awesome
Aspect to the
aspect.
game, yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you want to make rating more pay to play, why not give you the ability to buy runes or Loki runes directly from the game shops?
Well, you can technically if you mark Odin's.
Yeah, they do have an option. They have some limitation, and the thing is honestly, a good business model for a game does include things that help the free-to-play players, because the pay-to-win players get their energy and what the worth of the game from the free-to-play players. If you don't take care of the free-to-play players, then the pay-to-win players are not going to spend as much money because everything's worth less than it was. If it's not valuable to the free-to-play, that is what gives it value. So this has been my soapbox with Kefir from the beginning is you've got to take care of the free-to-play players because that's what gives value to things. And if you don't give value to things, then people are gonna spend less money.
But it's not the free-to-pay players that you're trying to make Nord bombs to raid. It's the people that have bought the steel rooms.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole reason why the Nord bomb is so valuable is because in order to make a Nord bomb, you got to go get 60 sulfur, which is a lot of grinding. You got to kill the fire golem 2 times. You've got to do all of these things. That's what sets the value. And then you spend money to skip that process. But if there was no free-to-play option, then there would be no relative value. It wouldn't be this rare item, and they just have to balance that. They have to make sure to balance that. But my biggest issue right now you guys are kind of quitting right now, but if season 6 has something or season 7 has something new, would you guys still come back and try it, or are you kind of like, no, we're
No.
Nevo done?
No, I don't think we're
is
done.
as as somebody that's rated probably more than most people in this game, there's a lot of issues with the cost of rating that make it prohibitive.
Yeah.
And I think what the devs fail to take into consideration is they've pumped the market full of stone walls and metal walls by having sales every 3 weeks, but they don't make it any easier to raid. Like the cost of raiding materials. I mean, not necessarily picks. I mean, because picks, it's like, yes, picks should have a price to them, but things like sledgehammers, it'd be understandable the current price of sledgehammers if you only needed one or two to break into a base, but half these fuckers got 6 or 7 layers of stone walls and then followed by 2 or 3 more layers of metal walls.
Yeah.
Like it's cost prohibitive for like 99% of players.
Yeah.
To raid something.
They made it way too easy currently in the game to get walls than to get raiding maps. Like it's multiple times easier to make walls than it is to break.
I guess the major points then is we need another PvE permanent place is what we want.
PvE,
we want.
I would love that.
They need to keep PvE and PvP separate. Like, if you're going to do a season for PvP, make it for PvP. If you're going to do it for PvE, make it for PvE. So, like, make a new zone where you can't fucking match with your clan, or where you. I like
when they mix things, but I think the bigger issue is the problem with PvP is matchmaking. And there's lots of different ways that matchmaking is a problem. There's clan wars. There's when we did the season, there was solos versus teams. There's always been those issues, and then there's also the balance issues like stun trapping, and why they didn't fix that, we're not 100% sure. But then in PvE, the issue typically, and this is actually where Frostborn's been better than other Kafir games, is that they just require too much grinding per reward. And lately they've been getting more into the typical Kafir way. In the army camp, they went a little bit more into the typical Kafir way of just this crazy grind, but at least that was an exponential scale. But this season is super grindy. And so I think that would y'all agree that it seems like the issue with PvP is matchmaking / a few balance issues, and then the issue with PvE is just the lack of respect for the gamer's time?
I have one thing about the PvE I'd love to add.
Okay.
There's one thing that's been bugging the community, and we've talked about it in great length. Me and Grip both absolutely hate the fact about this game that they do that. They add way too much temporary content. You gotta think how many hundreds of hours they put into developing Freyr's Land, for example, and then poof, it's gone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you've just spent all that time that people's salaries, so much money, and it's just gone forever. Like, every single season's almost like that too. It's all just temporary things.
If you think about it, it's to draw people in at that moment. They're like, oh, I have to, put in a lot of time while this is going on because it's not going to be here in a month or two. So I got to play now, but then in a month or two, now something else has come up, and now you got to, it's just they make everything so temporary to draw everybody in at the moment.
Just to let you know, Toast, and I could be wrong on this, I'm not a game developer, but I'm pretty sure this little location with Chinese ship and the little orbs and all that stuff took more work for them to make than all of Freyr's Land, because Freyr's Land.
Oh, I was just using that. That was like our first gripe. That was like we liked Freyr's, but yeah, I was saying like this too. These seasons too. Like this is what I was talking about. Is like once this season's over, I guarantee you that whole thing is just gonna be gone.
Well, they're definitely copying and pasting stuff. I mean, you'll notice the fire's the same. They reuse the elder often.
Even that takes time though. You gotta like clip those together and everything. Like,
PvE is good. PvE, it has its place in the game. PvP has its place in the game. But the fact that they haven't really done anything with either in so long. You know, they do all these temporary fixes and temporary content and all that stuff. You know, the only thing that they would have to do to fix PvP is put out in arenas. That's it.
Yeah. With
You
a
know,
with a good
I mean,
matchmaking system.
Bring back the
With
mole.
with a
That
good
mole
match
was-
with a good matchmaking system. You have to say that now because we always said, "Oh, just give us good PvP," and then
How about this? On the flip side, what if they don't do good matchmaking, but they just make everyone spawn in like the same item level or same gear score?
No,
Like if you
so
spawn
the
in, you
easiest
choose
way to
assassin,
actually fix
all the
all of
assassins
these
are the same
issues,
gear score.
the easiest way to actually fix all of these issues is they just have to adjust the economy. So to fix PvE and PvP, they have to make the getting gear easier. So there's two ways that they can go about it. The first one is they can increase the drop rate of gold pendants in Odins, so people get more gear. They're less scared of wasting that gear, you know, going out into you know, a fam zone and losing it, or a PvP zone and losing it.
I don't
The
think that's
alternative is-
gonna. I don't think that's gonna work because we've seen that before when things are easier and people get more gear.
I don't think that's going to help either, because
A
right
lot
now
of-
there's all kinds of people that are just stacked at their base, but they still run into zones in blue gear and butt naked because they're hoarders. They
Right.
just,
Well, they're
The-
hoarders,
the-
but they're also they don't believe they can win in PvP because they've tried 3 times, they failed all 3 times, they got stun trapped or whatever it is, and they just don't think they're good at it, and they don't realize it's a practice made
but then
perfect
that's when
thing.
you got to separate and have an arenas to where if you want to go PvP, click on the arena button. Say you want to queue up for a 1v1, or you know, two people on your team want to queue up for a 2v2 or whatever it is.
Yes.
You know,
And
then,
if they made that where you didn't lose gear, if they made a version of the arena where you didn't lose gear, then people would not be as outraged with even
Yeah.
bad matchmaking because they didn't. Oh man, I got a bad matchmaking. They beat me. There was no cost, and so they had fun, and maybe I don't know. I just feel like they need to think like a normal game. Like they're so big into their
Well,
new way of doing things that they forget to just.
There's advantages to them doing an arena as well, because we've talked about, like, if it cost me 5 gold to go in and do a really like a fair fight, whether I'm dropping items or not, I'll pay 5 gold, you know, or
Yeah.
10 gold, whatever,
Totally.
you know, whatever the price is. But
Toes, shut up. Nobody's
I'm
gonna
just
take
saying.
gold.
That's
No,
terrible. If
people-
they added that,
That is a
I would
horrible
quit the
idea.
game.
People
No,
would
but
hate that.
what they can
But-
definitely do
Just
is they
saying
can
though,
make
I
it slower
would like. There's
content.
options for them to, you know what I mean, actually do stuff with that.
They
Pay
might
gold
the-
to skip a queue time. That's it.
The
Yeah,
mole
skip a queue
portals
time.
that they had for the season pass, like we can all agree that was pretty good PvP in that. Like you couldn't really match with your clan easily. Why can't we just bring back that zone?
moleholes. A lot of us agreed that I would, if that was still out, I would go there just to farm points.
Yeah, well, Mohole will probably come back. I'm sure it will.
I don't know, man. It's just, you know, all they needed to do was take that zone and make it better, but yet they just wanted to do a temporary
No,
thing.
I'm 99%. I'm 95% sure Mohole will come back, and hopefully they will have fixed the matchmaking on it.
Well, you could do
It's-
mobile. Whatever happened to portals in the clan area? Remember they were talking about
Oh,
that
yeah.
portal area? You do clan bosses and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That just fell off the radar.
Well, guys, that's it. It looks like they are not quitting for good. So it looks like we'll be able to play with them on that pro team again. But it just seems people are really upset about this season. Mainly, and it makes sense. You can't skip a day. They're slave drivers. And if you can't skip a day, then it's, you know, people love to be able to finish a season. And Kefir needs to get that in their minds. Every time they've made it to where you can't finish a season, it bothers us gamers. And so, yes, it's free rewards. They might be like, oh, well, you got, you know, they may be like, well, look, you got these rewards. It's still rewards. And no, people want to finish the season. That's the point. So don't make it so hard to finish the season. Don't make it so grindy. I'm sorry, this is how gamers think. And so I know that you have your idea that, oh, it's more, but that's just not the way that gamers think. Gamers want to finish a season, and that's just what we get in other games. Part of the reason we play games is for a sense of accomplishment. And if you're going to take away our sense of accomplishment, well, then we're going to be upset, because that's part of the reason we play games. So, devs, please consider, rethinking of the way that you do things. I mean, season 4 and season 5 for a family were good because we could finish it. And you've had some other good seasons, but you guys gotta keep in mind that we have to be able to finish the season. Otherwise, why do seasons? That's kind of the appeal to a season, is that we could finish it. And so I hope you guys consider that. But personally, I still, there's very few games that are like Frostborn. People are getting really excited about Craft of Survival right now, and I'm definitely covering it, but it still doesn't quite have that team. It doesn't have the team aspect of going in a zone with your friend and doing things together. That's something I love about Frostborn, and so far, there's just nothing out there like it. All right, guys. See you next time.